Nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a bit more of Final Fantasy V. I looked at my party, and one thing that I just kind of noticed is they don't really have a whole lot of synergy, honestly. Like, there's just... we have 4 different classes, and none of them really mix and match too well together, from what I can tell. So... I think my best bet is trying to get someone to be a hunter. And then turn them eventually into a hunter with... into a mediator with X-Fight, maybe. I don't know. Also, the job class or job abilities don't seem to be all that well connected. So I'm probably just going to move for now. Actually, probably catch and release is going to be one of my bigger gains in terms of abilities that I would like to go and acquire. So let's see how that's going to go. Oh, hang on. I forgot something. There we go. I forgot the timer. Huh. Nightweight Mage and Beastmaster for you so far? Nice. Light Mage is always great. Knight is a really powerful single target Beastmaster. Beastmaster is super versatile. I'd rather have you a hunter actually, I think. We already have control, which is pretty awesome. So we can control certain enemies, but... actually, I just remembered there's a pretty useful thing we can do with that. Alrighty. First of all, what I do want to go ahead and do is I want to buy some mage masters. Wait, didn't I already buy mage masters? Oh, I do have mage masters. Alright, never mind. I thought I didn't get them. So, other than that, I think we can just go into World 2. Now to think, what should I give for Galuf in order for him to beat everything? And I think the answer is an Elf Cape, the Magos, and probably the Dragoon. So, let's just go. What does Chaos plus Berserker Risk stand for? So basically, Chaos is on how jobs are assigned to you. The normal mode of registering for a 4th job Fiesta, you will get assigned one of each of the crystals job. You get a wind crystal job, then water, then fire, and then earth at the end. Random gives you one of the jobs of each of the crystals that you have unlocked already. And Chaos gives you any of the jobs, even if you haven't unlocked the crystal yet. And Berserker Risk is a pre-registration thing where, well, depending on how much money people donate, there will be more or less Berserkers around. And usually Berserkers are some of the, well, the one job that people usually don't want. And by registering for Berserker Risk, I'm basically telling them, hey, I don't mind Berserkers, just give me Berserkers if there's any left. And I didn't get any, so here we are. Alrighty, just using a tent in order to advance the story. Triple crown potential as well. Yeah, I can see that. Yes, what Nightwind song said as well, thank you. Hey Ali, welcome to you as well. How are you doing? And greetings to you, Kugan and Popo Gamer. How are you guys doing? You have this for GBA. Are there big differences between GBA and Super Famicom? There's a bunch of minor differences, nothing big. For the most part, the GBA version is what people usually prefer to go with. I don't think I can control you. Yeah, no. I'm probably going to lose this battle, but I didn't really plan on winning it anyway, so I'm okay with that. Yep, the expected result. Basically one of my first goals will be equip bows on someone, I think. Which will be quite useful. I'm not sure who would get equipped bows, but I'll probably just do stuff as I go anyways. Equip bows is really good. What else is really good? Equip whips is probably actually kind of decent for a black mage. So maybe I should make Lena my mediator for now, because she has the highest... I would want her to be the black mage in the end, but she already has the highest level of black magic so to learn, so maybe I just run with it anyways. Ooh. I see. Welcome back, Ali. How's the run's going? Quite fine. Not much of a complaint. The jobs don't have much synergy with each other, but they are all individually quite strong, so it's going to be quite fine. You've been debating playing through the series casually, from 1 to 7. Well, sounds like a good plan to me. I've kind of been debating since quite a while playing through Final Fantasy 1 for the NES. So I might do that sometime. Let's see, what does the Dragoon best mix and match with anyways? I don't even know. I kind of would want to... Alrighty. Galuf, you're going to become my Dragoon for now. Where's the Dragoon anyways? There we go. The purple Dragoon. With a bit of black magic, why not? Sounds like a good plan. With the elf cape. Trident, that's as good as it gets, that's fine. And also back row, that's kind of where we want you to be. There's a healing well and also save point just north of here. I don't think I need that, so I'm just going to go. Dagran? Dargan? It's a Dragoon. That would be a Dragoon. Sure. Hey Profness, welcome. How are you doing? It's going quite well. I hope you're doing well too. So we just jump. Gilgamesh doesn't do all that much damage, and we have a pretty decent chance at avoiding the attack. Well, a 1 in 3 chance, I guess. Entirely. And you only need to deal 2000 damage in order to push him into the next phase. And we jump over every other attack as well, it seems. Alright, let me actually reset my capture card real quick. I just need to hold down the A button. Nothing too special is going to happen. So I hope the blinking stops now. I'm actually not sure you guys saw the blinking. But it was a bit weird on my end once in a while. So far, so monk. Nice, good luck with the monk. Actually, let me just try to plan out real quick my final classes. Just so I have a good idea for that in the end. So what do I do? Hunter X-Fight is really strong, as we all know. Do I want to have that on anybody else aside from the Hunters? Not sure. What about Dragoon abilities? There's not really anything interesting that you can necessarily get. Dragoon is very much a class that is very self-sufficient. But maybe giving him some access to black magic would be interesting too. Not sure. Black Mage, the only thing I could think of the Black Mage really doing would be giving him the equip whips. Or equip bows. The advantage of equip whips is that there's a fire build later that has a chance of casting Fire 3. But at the same time, might as well cast Fire 3 straight up, right? So, maybe not. So yeah, I'm not sure what to pair the Black Mage with in this case. Maybe the Dragoon? Just have Black Magic on the Dragoon. That sounds like a plan. In this case, I would want to not necessarily have Lena be the Black Mage. I kind of want her to be the Black Mage in the end. So maybe change up who the Black Mage is for now. Who would want to have Black Magic? Dragoon would like to have Black Magic, so maybe switch those two around for now. And then... I'm not sure. Hunter has animals actually, which would be useful for now. Maybe give everybody animals for now until we have something else to use. Or try to anyway. So that would mean we would need to start leveling the hunter abilities just a little bit. But I think that's a good idea. Basically, turning Galof into the Black Mage for now. With control, that sounds pretty good to me. You get fire, sure. Then I'm going to turn Lena into... Who goes to be the Dragoon? Now what did I want to give the Black Mage anyways? Animals? Okay, animals. So she's going to be the hunter for now. Everybody could use animals. Yeah, okay. Animal with black magic. Then you are going to be the Dragoon for now. Highest base strength of the guys. Actually... Oh, hang on. We may want to have control on everybody as well. We have to control on 3 people, attack 2 people right now. And Ferris is going to learn it rather soon, so that might be a useful thing too. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. Alrighty. Optimum, you get the Ice Rod, I don't know. Elf Cape? Nah, it's okay. You get the Mythfield Loss, no one else can use that anyway, so I'm okay with that. You don't really have that much of a choice. Thunder, Ice or Fire Bow, Thunder Bow is good for now. Elf Cape? Probably want to have the Hunter being faster. And you get... Oh, the power thing. Maybe the Hunter should get the power armlet in this case. You get the Elf Cape. Thunder Whip is going to be quite decent for quite a while. So... Alrighty, plan is... Have everybody get animals. First of all, Lena gets animals. Really, not much else is going to be all that useful for a Black Mage. So she will be... probably the final Black Mage in the end. Although I do want to master Black Magic on another character, so that will probably just be Galof in this case. So that's the current plan. Do I have the USB version of the Elgato capture card? Me? No. I have a StarTech USB version, but it's a StarTech HDMI capture card. Yeah. HD capture card, that way around. Because I also use a device called the OSSC that essentially upscales and without lag for the most part the picture. So I'm actually literally playing on my PC monitor because there's no lag, so it's kind of convenient. Because I don't have a good TV at all that I could use. But this is kind of as good as it gets. And enjoy the music, because it's Gilgamesh time. Alrighty, what do we get here? First set of monsters? I think that's always the same. I should have actually used aim rather than that. That's so silly. They are weak to lightning if I'm not mistaken. Which kind of goes to show right here. Just in case our black magic guy would not be able to finish this thing. That's a lot of damage. Hi. What do we have here? Some Zahagans, which are also, I believe, weak to lightning. Oh, I should have multi-targeted. That was a mistake. Oh well. My Dragoon will most likely be able to take out the last fishman without any trouble. Yeah, that's a lot of damage right there. You can avoid all of those encounters aside from the first one on the bridge. But for me it's like... might as well get the experience and also ABP for now. ABP as usual means ability points. Master Bomb also inflicts HP leak, so that's less than ideal. They're also not weak to lightning. But weak enough, let's put it that way. By the way, the basic attack of the lightning whip is not actually lightning based. Great to see you, Manakat. Welcome, how are you doing? And that was a lot of damage again. Nine potions left, that's not a whole lot. Maybe I should start avoiding the encounters. Oh, that's not here. So, I think you want to have a thunder rod for this. You're fine, glad to hear that. Alrighty, so... how many elixirs do we have? 5. And a high potion, this should be sufficient, probably. Let's see. Gilgamesh is kind of basic and simple in his first iteration. He does not have any real weakness. Just checking who he is attacking. All I can really do is just attack him for now. That's about 200 damage. I'm trying to count damage, basically. That's 450. And... about 900 damage. A 1100. Alright, let's say about 1500. I'm not good at counting at all, at least not without a calculator. I'm not going to use a calculator here. That's about 2000 damage, let's go with that for now. I think about 4500 is the breakpoint. Not sure. Wind Slash, that's a lot of damage. High Potion on you. So about 1000 more damage. That's what we need. You know what? You can just use bolts here as well. That's probably more damage. It is. Not much though. So after this jump, I will try to do something a little bit unusual. I'll try to hit him into his next phase after using a Mage Masher. Which means anybody who can attack will just attack physically, hoping to silence him with the Mage Masher. We only have 2, so it's a 1 in 3 chance for the Mage Masher to proc in the first place, and then we only have, like, I don't know, 40% chance for it to hit. So let's see. Didn't work, unfortunately. Now it's going to get a bit ugly, because his jumps are going to be really painful. I think it will kill anybody that isn't Galliford Moth right now. Ew, he barely survived that one. You're going to get this. An elixir here. He has about 2000 HP left. And I think this is kind of where I want to start breaking rods. Trying to deal a lot more damage. Oh, right. Rest in peace, Ferris. I'm going to also use some Phoenix Downs here. Okay, about 800 HP left, I would imagine. I'm going to... You know what, just one of each rod. Now we use Master Fire Rod. Alrighty. Basically we didn't really have much in the way of things going for us right now. But we survived. Kinda. For the most part. It'll be fine. Did you just learn control? No, tame first and then you learn control later. That's fine. It will take you a while until you learn Nightingale. So, Let's see. I'm pretty sure that's how we avoid the encounters. And we see John Heston. It's going quite fine over here. Hope we're doing well too. Is the rabbit gone? No, worms are still around. And we see you, Ghost Eye. Welcome. How are you doing? Oh. Is it not connected anymore? Okay, the application appears to have crashed. That's actually unusual, that's the first time. So, let's restart it. Alrighty. Now, next up, just going to sleep for a while. And I actually have a very specific plan on how I want to level up in just a short while here. Anyone who may have watched the Fiesta about the opening race Fiesta about 2 years ago has a plan, or maybe you just kind of naturally know it as well. Because there's a very nice opportunity for us to just grind thanks to having a Beastmaster, and Beastmaster alone. And it's going to be the best place for almost the entire game, I would say. Maybe not the entire game, but it's definitely not far away from that. So I definitely will want to try and take advantage of that, and that's what I'm going to do. My bot taught you to write delicious without error. Nice. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So let's see, what kind of armors and weapons do we have from here? Or Halcon daggers, give 1 agility. Oh, not bad. Wind spear. Probably want to have a wind spear. Darkness bow, this is the thing I really want. And a chain, if I want to have my Beastmaster deal more damage with physicals. It's just straight up better than the whip anyway, so I might as well sell the whip here. The elemental bows I'm going to keep for now. I don't need the glasses anymore, the leather shoes. And then we don't really have much in the way of money. So you need to wait a little bit, Ferris, until we get a new weapon for you. We have a new weapon for the Dragoon, so that's nice. We have still kind of those weapons here, I guess. We'll be fine. And I guess you get the Guardian Dagger for now. And we are not going to be able to afford a whole lot. There's actually quite a few good spells here that I would like to get to. But I'm not going to be able to afford that, so I'm going to postpone that until very shortly. Even though we didn't end up getting a bard, might as well go ahead and play the piano anyways. I'm not sure why they're hiding it away. Maybe someone played that badly. Or maybe they just like the idea of haunting music through the walls, but oh well. Actually, if you think about the situation or location of this pub, from the outside this looks like this is the entire room, just one square. So we are probably actually going to the basement to play the piano. That would make more sense. I believe there's actually a little bit more story exposition if you go to the inn here. Enjoy your lurk mode. And greetings to you, dude. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Doing well. Whatever. You wish you got a message like that whenever you played the guitar? Well, I guess it can be motivating. I'm reasonably certain that You do get better every time you play the guitar, but it's just kind of sometimes hard to notice because it's such a slow process for most people, including me. Alrighty. Actually, like this little story exposition here, it's optional too. Like, you don't have to go and sleep here, but it doesn't even cost you anything. That's kind of neat. Frog Mary, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. And welcome to you. I hope you're doing well. So I'm actually not sure we are going to get all that much money. In the upcoming section, but I'll definitely try to grab a bit, and then we will be able to buy spells in the next town. They will still sell the same spells in the next town too. And there's not any bosses in between. Kind of bosses, not really. But here, there's actually an area called the Seal Temple. In the Seal Temple... Wow, we managed to walk all the way without an encounter. Impressed. In the Seal Temple, there is a rather interesting encounter here that is called a Shield Dragon. It's only ever Shield Dragon, nothing else. And he is really strong. There's not really a good way to take him out, aside from trying to control him. Oh boy. Here in the back row, he only does half the physical damage. There we go, controlled him. And you just defend for now. And the way you defeat the Shield Dragon is use Flame on himself. And as you can see, that deals a lot of damage. He has actually 20,000 HP, and good luck in taking it out, because he inherently starts with armor, I think, which cuts any physical damage you deal to him in half. He has a wall, which reflects any spells. And he has pretty crazy physical defense. On top of everything else. You have a firebow, that's good. Maybe I should have bought some potions instead. Alrighty. Oh, maybe it doesn't have quite that much, but we gain a bunch of levels in the process, and that's kind of the entire thing that I want to do here. Just gain a bunch of levels in the process. That probably does not even help you if you get hit in the end. So maybe Ferris should give you the Guardian Dagger here. That way you at least have a 25% chance to block the incoming physical. It is a slow process. At some point you plateau and need guidance to continue to improve. Yeah, that sounds about right. Aww. That was my other controller guy. Unfortunately, there's not really much I can do about this now. Well, that's not true. I can just revive him. Because I want him to get the ability points for his Black Mage too. I think that's flame number 3. And then, in theory, just a single small attack would do the trick, but I don't dare to try and do that because those things are really strong and I'm not sure I can even pierce its armor. I probably should be able to with the flame ball, but I'm actually really not sure. Alrighty, she learned animals. That's actually all I want for you, for that matter. So you're actually going to become the mediator after Ferris finally learns control as well. I think that's how I want to handle that. Going to go outside real quick. Tent up so everybody gets healed and safe. And then we go on. You've been leaning heavily on animals for healing. Yeah, animals for healing is actually quite good overall if it procs, which is potentially a problem. The upside is, if I give it to a black mage, is that the healing will actually be stronger, if I'm not mistaken. Remember using jump on him a lot? Let's actually attack first. 0 damage. Okay, he's not even weak to fire, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure he's also undead. Oh boy, I wish I defended now. Good block, or dodge I guess. Uh-oh, I don't know what the chance of control is, but this does not look pretty at all. Mainly because we have 2 zombies now. And I don't even have a way of doing that much against it. In fact, I don't have any holy waters. And it's really difficult for us to actually run from combat in this case. Also, what zombies do is they just keep attacking your own party. They only attack, they don't do anything else. They even attack it themselves. And they are still valid targets for enemies. So that means eventually we would be able to save this, but well, for now we will move on. Also, interesting enough, Ferris lightning almost did no damage. I wonder whether that's just kind of because she would deal almost no damage anyways, or whether that was because zombies have 0 intelligence. I don't actually know that. Right, I can't change that. I need to get holy waters, or I don't know what they are called in this translation here actually. Also, I want to get some healing items anyways. $5,000 gold already again, that's kinda neat. Revivify is what it's called, in order to cure the zombie status. Outside of combat, Revivify heals for 1. In combat it heals actually for a bit more. So, let's see, 1 high potion heals 10 times as much. Doesn't cost quite 10 times as much. So for now I'm going to buy as many high potions as I can. Just so we have a bit of healing and then we try again. Because as I said, I think the shield dragons are really our best bet for trying to level for quite a while to come. And getting a few levels will just make it a lot more comfortable. It's not absolutely necessary, it's not even the fastest. But it's more comfortable, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And hey Thorgrim and Bridget, welcome guys, I hope you're doing well. It looks almost like Berserk, except without the extra damage. Pretty much, yes. And you also hit your own team instead of the enemy. Which, depending on the fight, can actually be better than your allies hitting the enemies at random. In fact, this was actually one of the strategies that I suggested to Almagus last year in the opening race. Where he didn't know that actually zombies do end up gaining he didn't know that zombies actually end up gaining experience and also ability points in combat despite them, well, being zombies and technically dead. So what he ended up doing is he zombied his berserker, gave him a super weak weapon so he would never deal any damage, and not attack the enemy, and control leveled on the shield dragon here. That's what he did, and it worked pretty well. Interesting 4 jobs. Yeah, they don't have much synergy, but they are interesting indeed. Ouch. By the way, this is also the first time we're able to buy high potions. Nice. First try control is always great. And as you can see, control can be an incredibly strong ability. Unfortunately, or also kind of naturally, you don't get to use that on bosses. Actually, maybe there might be some boss where we can use it, or it wasn't counted for that matter. Not entirely sure. Oh, I messed up. Actually, no, I can just hold the button combination and it will automatically flame because you cannot defend. It didn't mess up. Yeah, I can just hold R and A and this works out perfectly well. Gain a bunch more levels, learn Black Magic level 4. And Ferris needs 6 more encounters until she learns control as well. Sounds like a deal to me. What level are we right now? 20. 20 is a solid level already. I don't want to go too far, so my goal is going to be maybe Ferris just learns control, and then I'm going to move on from now. Maybe I want her to learn catch instead though. Catch release, that is. Then she can be the Dragoon, and catch release Dragoon might be my best option actually. Now I think about it. I guess Black Mage Dragoon or Catch Release Dragoon, both is fine. Because I do have a very specific strategy to take out the boss of World 2. Also, I just realized I definitely will want to go ahead and grab something to drink rather soon. But in order to take out the boss of World 2, I will need to gain quite a few more ability points to catch and release on the Mediator. Maybe that's just going to be my goal for now. No. No. There we go. There we go. Bit sketchy, but it works still. Use a high potion. What's so chaotic about this? The chaotic nature of a Chaos run is that you can get any job at any time, even if you haven't unlocked them yet. Well, almost any job, with the exception of Mime and Freelancer, or the extra DS job, Game Boy Advance jobs. But that's what Chaos is about. At this point, Chaos, or not Chaos, or anything else, is pretty much the same. You just have the jobs unlocked at this point. Chaos is mostly interesting for the first third of the game. Nice control, all reworked. Do I have animals actually? I should give her animals for now, maybe. Is this run all super bosses? Let's see. We have a good method of taking out neither of the super bosses, really. We can deal a lot of damage. There's one method how I can take out Shinryu with just the Dragoon alone. And maybe a zombie. That could be interesting. So Shinryu I can see taking on. It will take a bit of luck, but will be a bit tricky. We do have a lot of damage for Omega. Oh, there's encounters here too. I didn't realize that. We do have a good method of taking out Omega. But our survival chance against Omega is rather weak. Which is the big difficulty. Yeah, the thing is, we would need to wait. We would need to have at least 2 people with wall rings on Omega, and hope that he reflects the Seeker on himself, so we can actually attack him without the counterattack. So Omega, we would probably just have to level a lot in order to defeat him in the end. Which, I mean, we could do that. But at the same time, I don't see much of a way of leveling up reliably and quickly, for that matter. It does, Seeker. It does. Once again, the problem about it is mostly that the counterattacks are going to be pretty heavy, and we would need to survive until then. And the thing is, if you have 3 people with wall rings, then you run into the problem that you are not fast enough to heal up quick enough. We would need to get really lucky with Nightingale heals in order to actually really do anything. But yeah, damage is not a problem. We have multiple options. In fact, the damage, having multiple options, might actually end up being useful. Thinking about it, because maybe we can get him down in 2 turns of him just reflecting. We would just need to survive essentially a little bit more than 1.5 cycles of his AI script, which is really difficult. Or, well, really random, I would say, rather than difficult. But it would be doable in theory. You would need to get quite lucky though. Thinking about it actually a bit more. Nice. You are really good at controlling things. Thinking about it a little bit more. Yeah, if we can turn it, take it out in 2 turns without too much trouble, maybe, let's say, 2 reflects in 2 turns, and then we just line up ourselves to attack him with both Black Magic on our own wall and X-Fight on multiple characters. That might work. The thing is, we don't really have a good way of getting an element onto our weapon, or any elemental weapon that is particularly strong. Like both Hunter and also Dragoon have elemental weapons. The Fairies learned control. Next is going to be catch and release, which I didn't think they would take that long. but apparently it will take that long. But I guess for now that will be fine. You should learn use animals actually for now. Oh well. We are level 23 right now. Let's go to 27. Excuse me. 27 mainly because it's another prime number, and I want to get a few more encounters here, I think. Bee Swarm! Hey, actually, that's kind of neat. Uh-oh. Rabbit. Doesn't do anything. So, the way, by the way, animals works is that it's based on your level. Based on your level, you have a random chance of getting little animals to help you. I do believe, let's say, the game rolls a number from 1 to your level number. If you roll a 1, you always get a rabbit. Actually, it might be 0, from 0 to your level number, I don't know. If you get a 0, you get the rabbit. It doesn't do anything. So that's just kind of the worst roll. Then you can get a bee swarm, which deals damage to all enemies. It's not that strong. It's really not that strong. It's usable, but I guess, but eh. Then you can get Nightingale from, as in from 1 to 10, I believe, is the bee swarm. Then from 11 to 20, I think, is Nightingale, if I'm not mistaken. Also, by the way, bee swarm is surprisingly useful. Oh, mate, my mom was in there too. I forgot about that. I don't know what Mamonga does exactly. So my numbers are off. The numbers I used are basically what we use for Geomancer, but I don't actually know the numbers for Hunter. Either way, the higher we level, the higher our chances to get Nightingale as a heal, which is a group heal, which is kind of good. So essentially I'm kind of waiting on Galuf to master black magic, I guess. Maybe I should just go all the way to have fairies learn control and release, or catch and release. This might be my best option actually for certain things to come in this world, because this is going to be a rather tough ending otherwise, I imagine. Yeah, maybe we'll just do this. Mamonga is paralyzed on all enemies. Oh, paralyzed? We have a paralyze? I guess we all have different paralyzed. That's kind of neat actually. Thank you. Nice block. Bee Swarm! So, as mentioned before, Flame actually deals just 4 damage to Little. In order to take out the Shield Dragon in 4 flames. Because Flame does exactly 25% of an enemy's health and damage. With rounded down numbers. And he appears to have slightly more. Actually, I think he has like 19,999 HP. Not quite 20,000. If he has had exactly 20,000, there would be no rounding error, and he would actually die in just 4 turns of flame. Nice block. Either way, we would need really a little, just a tiny little bit more damage usually, not a whole lot. It's also worth noting, I need to be kind of careful about the control, because control the flame is second option, and the second option is the one on the left, whereas for my characters, using controls and abilities on the right. So I always need to keep switching between the character that just used or controlled the shield dragon and the other ones for which ability they use. So here I know I can't just hold down the A button for the first two. And then for the third one I had to switch over to the right because he was on flame. Now this will be the same deal the next time we get into encounter here. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are just going to lean back, relax and grind here for a while, I guess. Until Fairies learns catch and release, I think, is the goal. So, how was your day, ladies and gentlemen? Or how is your day? I hope you're doing well. If not, I hope it's going to go well soon. What is your current, let's say, gaming project? What game are you playing and enjoying? Well, for a few people I imagine that might be Fiesta, but maybe there's some other people that have different games. Just kind of curious. Art hit? Oh. Right. Please control. Uh-oh. Hey, Nightingale found for once. We get healed. Pretty good amount of heal too. Okay, controlled. Good. Which means I'm going to actually hit you here. Actually, I think I could still use animals here, rather than defending. I don't think it will knock him out of the thing. No, it doesn't. That's good. Diablo 3 Season 14 started. Oh boy. Nice. Getting through 2 different Fiestas myself at the moment. One Wreck Forbidden, another Pure Chaos Natural. Oh, good luck with that, Flurry. You're currently doing Monolith Movie Nights. Streaming casual cutscene plays of Xenosaga, Xenoblade and Xenogears. That's interesting. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but that sounds interesting. And then offline Forge of Fiesta run. Well then, Diablo 2 and Forge of Fiesta. Diablo 3 and Forge of Fiesta. Sounds like quite the tasks to work with. I kind of really hope for Nightingale so I would not have to heal manually. Saga Jaded Gamer runs. Alright. Nice heal. Fire too? Ow. I hope we get this under control soon. No pun intended. Wait. You have a bow, that's not good. Use a knife. You're kinda sad that you got Blue Mage and Samurai. I mean, both of those are really strong. The thing is, Samurai is interesting because even if you don't end up using Jill Toss, Samurai is still crazy strong even without that. Pretty awesome. And a 4-chop a 4-chop Chunk Fest on Android version 4-chop Fiesta run on a 5-year-old Android keyboard PC. Well, good luck with that. Level 5 Black Magic already. I wonder what the final level will be, or how much. I don't actually know that. Hard hit. Squirrels! Nice control immediately. You can hit her. She'll be fine. Nice heal, and I don't think we need to heal anymore for now. Actually, I think Nightingale heals through bone mail, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, sorry for getting caught up. You're throwing all the money in AP for those object darts to throw yourself into the end game. Nice, good luck with that, Valo. Been focusing Final Fantasy V lately, but I guess you'll try to finish your playthrough of Fire Emblem Echoes and Radiant Historia soonish. Oh. Have fun with the finishing project. It can be kind of intimidating to try and pick up a game again that you, well, haven't played or used for a while. What does that? We got a gold shield. I did not even know that. But it should be alright, I think. Just go for it. Got hyped about the definitive edition of Tales of Vesperia, so currently playing through Tales of Berseria again. Also thinking of starting Tales of Symphonia, since I never got out of the start of that one. I see. Yeah, I can definitely see how it can be difficult to get beyond the beginning of Tales of Symphonia. Personally, I actually really liked the beginning of Tales of Symphonia when I was a kid, so I never had any trouble with that, and then it just kind of hooked me in to go all the way with it in the end. So I'm kind of lucky in that. Be Swarm, there we go, that's all I needed. Just hit a little bit of damage. You're watching the Xbox press conference. Oh my goodness, alright, nice. I can appreciate that kind of commitment. So, is Vesperia also going to come to PC, by the way? Does anyone know that? Should I play it? Oh. You don't want to physically hit that guy, I just realized. In fact, animals is probably the thing that caused the hard hit counter. I don't know whether he has the hard hit naturally. Oh, the guy that I want to... Oh well, whatever. Then that doesn't deal any damage. You have a white mage as a starting class this year's run. Oh. Going to go slow and steady. Not difficult, but slow. Have fun with that. Monk and Circuit, then you got Black Mage and Samurai. Oh boy. A Circuit Monk is actually really fun. They deal a surprising amount of damage with their fists. And also you have HP plus %, which is really good. Yes, yep. Steam it seems. Alrighty, it's coming to PC. Am I level grinding? Yeah, I'm kind of level grinding at the same time as I'm grinding for ability points on fairies, and that's kind of my current goal. I want fairies to be able to... Ooh. Okay, he hard hits just kind of naturally. Ooh. Okay, we got this. That was scary. I forgot that back attacks were even a thing in this. But they are. And it's not so pretty. But yeah, I'm grinding. Essentially, the main idea of the grind is that... Doesn't do anything. Oh my goodness. The main idea of the grind is that I want fairies to have catch and release, and I figured might as well do that grind for catch and release on a character that... on an enemy that also gives me a lot of experience. That way I should be covered for the remainder of the game, really. Thank you for Nightingale, that's kind of what I was hoping for. Could use another one though. Is this part of a run? Kinda. I mean, it's not supposed to be a speed run, even though I have a timer. I just kind of like having an idea on how long it took me to play through certain games if I replay through them. And that's kind of how that is here. So yeah, I probably want to go ahead and save real quick before we go in again. There'll just be 8 more of those shield dragons and then we are going to move on. But did you know that Tales of Vesperia is the best game to ever have happened? So I've heard. Does anyone know what the Shield Dragon does for catch and release? Still trying to get the bee swarm or squirrels out of the animals, so we have actually one less turn of Shield Dragon firing at itself. There we go, bee swarm. Oh, I don't know whether 2 damage is good enough. I didn't count turns, so that might actually just be the final turn here anyways. Physical damage, but good damage. But I like your response, alright. I like it. Oh yeah, Almagest. We do technically have a way of dealing with Almagest, but it's going to be kind of random whether it's actually working or not. Oh, he uses Almagest. That's interesting. I can catch one of those. I am going to catch one of those. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. As soon as Farius learns catch and release, I'm going to catch one of those guys. One thing I need to be wary of is I just don't want to have a level divisible... Well, same deal is still true as before, actually, now that I think about it. Squirrels are good. Squirrels. Such a difficult word to pronounce. And one thing that I need to be wary of is I don't want to have a level divisible by 2 and not divisible by 5. So I may have to go to just a little bit longer in order to avoid that from happening. Maybe I'm not going to care much. We'll see. What about divisible by 3? Do I care about that? Probably, actually, now that I think about it, because that's going to be the most relevant, or the one that is the most relevant soon. So 31 sounds like a good number right now. Although 29 I would take as well. I'm not sure we will be there. Okay, control. Yeah, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to 29 and then I will just go on afterwards. I think that's a good way to deal with this. I'm actually curious about the catch and release of this thing now. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to catch this guy. That was the first flame. Second flame. Exactly, Ballo. Oh, Balao? How do I pronounce your name, by the way? So next turn is going to be where flame is going to be relevant. Catch is going to be relevant, sorry. I've already moved over my cursor so I can just hold down the A button and catch him. Hey, you can still get the full ABP even if you catch them. I thought you only get one. I was wrong. Could have attacked again with, or tried animals again for an attack. Or is like... Oh, so it is or. Nice, alrighty. So it's Valo. Thank you for the explanation. No beeswax, no squirrels so far. A bunch of nightingales were healing, which isn't horrible usually, but right now not what we are looking for. I was really hoping for more animals, that way it would have died a turn earlier. Everybody gained a level, I think. Yes, everybody 29. And Ferris is only 13 in AVP away from the next thing, so level 29 sounds like a good deal to me. Let's just roll with that. And get the remainder of the things along the way. It was probably a good idea to eventually finally put animals onto Lena, that way we actually had a heal. Speaking of which, I guess she kind of is going to be the closest. I should have changed to his hunter now that I think about it. I wanted to make her a mediator next, but the Dragoon right now doesn't really have a secondary ability that is all that worthwhile in most combats against bosses. Same deal with the Black Mage. So I think I'm going to turn you into a hunter real quick. The idea is that you get animals rather soon. Wow, you don't have particularly good equipment, do you? Fire rod it is. So we just need 15 ability points for Galuf, which means kind of when Ferris masters the other thing, we can turn Galuf back into the other thing. Give the mediator over to Lena. And then the hunter over to Butts. So that's the current plan. So, I actually need to go ahead and grab some food real quick. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the music. Be right back. Did I just say food? I meant something to drink. Oh well. Let's go. I did have a salad today. That's sufficient for now. Moogle eaters. I should probably kill them, because I don't like them eating Moogles. That's kinda mean. Also, maybe we should be able to just take out those guys in here. Darkness Bow, Black Magic. They should be weak to Bolt if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Pretty weak to Bolt. And don't release that at Fairies, we kind of need that. Oh, you could also change your weapon at this point. Oh no, that's a good weapon actually. You want to have the Thunder Rod for now, Black Magic, Bolt. Alrighty, looks good. I'm not interested in fighting those guys. That's a lot of enemies. Also, I just realized Galuf should be able to have more equipment right now. Because I only just now unequipped, or after we're turning into Hunter, I unequipped the stuff from Lena, so... Yeah, he actually does get more. Huh. There's a Phoenix down in that chest on the left, which that's 1,000 gold. I'm going to grab that. It's not a whole lot, I guess, but... bonk. It's a bit. In case you're wondering where that path down there leads to, it leads back to the beginning, pretty much. At least I think it does. And there's no more chests or treasure. Phoenix down here kind of is a little bit of an indicator of, hey, you know how if you heal on dead enemies, they take damage? Maybe you should try using a Phoenix down on them, and maybe something happens. And this is exactly what we are going to do here. You could try to fight this thing straight up. In fact, with our Black Mage, we would have a pretty decent way of doing so, but this thing is pretty brutal if you try to damage it, and because eventually it will use a question mark attack, which deals as much damage as the enemy has lost HP. So that's pretty unhealthy. Greetings to you, Newster. Welcome. How are you doing? Let's actually see, we almost, just 3 more ability points on Ferris and 5 more on Galuf. They're going to be through here. I guess I wasn't entirely correct when I said there was no boss along the way. There was a boss just now. Kinda. You want to avoid the desert in this area because in the desert there are sand crawlers, which is an unescapable encounter. And trying to take on sand crawlers actually with control, I think, is reasonably doable. Either way, the encounter rate is really high. And the encounters in here you can not flee from. But if you have something like this could be interesting. Let's see. I don't know what abilities he has when you control him. Electric shock. I don't think electric shock is all that interesting. Doesn't do much damage, but it keeps him from attacking himself, I guess. Can you poison this thing? Maybe. Let's see, what is this thing weak to? Let's see. What is your name? I think Sandcrawler, if I'm not mistaken. You can't do anything, Varys, that would not put him out of his state. Mamonga once is distracted. Now they are stunned, actually. That's what Mamonga does. Let's try it again, I guess, for now. Sandcrawl. They have 15,000 HP, and they have immunity to Totem Mini, so you technically can poison it. Just need to get lucky. There we go. And now we can just wait. It's 16 ticks of poison until he is defeated, which I guess is an option. If you want to catch and release those guys, it's actually really powerful, because they have Maelstrom as an ability. Maelstrom, if you release them, Maelstrom targets all enemies and puts them into critical HP. And I might actually just go ahead and catch 2 of those for later use. Eventually, not now. Greetings to you, Pewty Wheat. Welcome. How are you doing? Sometimes the most efficient strategy is just waiting. Like, we could expand magic in order to actually deal damage to him, but I'm almost certain that would be slower, because we would be taking turns and just stopping the ATB from advancing and the poison from ticking. So this is probably as quick as it gets for us to defeat this thing. If I'm not mistaken, they are not even worth particularly much. There we go. 1000 gil, 250 experience, 2 AVP. Yeah, not particularly much. But you can defeat them, it's tossable, doable, depending on your job arrangement. Just control can be so broken against enemies, or not bosses, so to speak. Can def, as you saw, against the Shield Dragon. Shield Dragon is even significantly stronger than those sand crawlers, I dare to say. And dealing with them the normal way is brutal, because if you attack them physically, which might be your only option for dealing actual damage, the Shield Dragons will actually counterattack with the Dizzy hit that confuses you too. And AXF, welcome to you as well. Welcome to you as well, Nooster and Folsom. Hope we are having a pleasant day so far. So there's little Moogle here. He tells us that, hey, we should come inside. He wants to give us something. And he tells us that all of those chests are for us. Thank you very much, little Moogle. Appreciate that. We get an Ether, we get a Phoenix Down, we get 10,000 gil, we get 1 gil, and Dancing Dagger and Cabin. So, that's a lot of money and the Dancing Dagger. Also, you actually want to talk with him, otherwise the timer event will actually never progress. So if you're confused as to why you can't continue, talk to that Moogle over there. Eventually stuff will happen. So Moogle suit. We can actually equip the Moogle suit. Become a Moogle ourselves, which kind of begs the question as to how many people are actually Moogles in Moogle suits, or... well, you get the idea. Either way, we get two interesting items in here. One is the Dancing Dagger, and the other one is in here, another Elf Cape. Elf Cape once again gives you a bit of agility, a bit of magic power, and the chance to avoid physical attacks entirely. It's really good, honestly. You have the power thing? Oh goodness, no, no, no. Black Mage does not attack physically anyways. So this is better. The Dancing Dagger is an incredibly strong weapon. For the current point of time we are in. I'm actually going to put the Dancing Dagger on Dragoon and just put him into the front row instead of jumping with a spear. Jumping with the spear is a lot more reliable, but Dancing Dagger has the special ability of 50% of the time, when you attack regularly, it will proc a dance move. The same dance move as you have from the Dancer class. And what that does for you is, it will choose one of 4 abilities at random. It will either do a sword dance, which is 4 times your base damage, so it's insanely strong. It's usually what you want. It can do a jitterbug duet, which absorbs HP from the enemy and gives it to you. In fact, it's pretty much the exact same as the HP absorb spell from a Black Mage. Then it's Mystery Waltz, which is the Psych or Osmose spell from a Black Mage. The exact same thing, just absorb MP from enemies. That's not usually desirable. And Tempting Tango, where it is a confusion attack. If the enemy is confusable, it guarantees a confusion on them, so it can be really good. But most of the time, Tempting Tango, because it doesn't even deal any form of damage, is not so desirable, and what you really want is the Sword Dance for straight up a ton of damage. And hey Todd James, and welcome to you Magic Freak. I hope you guys are doing well, and greetings to you Sturdy Hacks, and also to Ali. I hope you guys are having a pleasant day so far. Why did the Moogle keep 10,000 gil in one chest and one single in another? It might be a case of Scrooge McDuck, where that was the first money he ever earned, the first piece of coin. And he kind of treasured that pretty highly. And I'm sure we're going to keep that in our bag, rather than actually spend it. Currently quick leaking, oh my god. Well, I guess that's one way of doing that. That takes like 2 or 3 hours, I think. How am I doing? A little bit weird, it feels like I'm going to get sick or I'm already sick. But other than that, quite fine. In real time, it takes 1 hour and 50 minutes. Well, that would be enough time for me to read you guys a story, if I were to ever do that. For shit, you have the Summer and White Mage, so you're set. Nice. You only really need a White Mage for Shinryu. It's actually kind of crazy how a White Mage completely eradicates the need for anything else on Shinryu. I have a Dragoon. I will probably try to steal a Dragon Lance. And if I can get that within a reasonable amount of time, I might just try for the Dragoon to solo Shinryu. I'm not sure. We'll see whether I'm actually going for it. Yeah, all you need really for Shinryu is you need to Berserk him, which White Mage has Berserk as a spell, and you need to use Image so you actually survive the physical attacks, and White Mage has Image. Pretty awesome. You beat World 2 XDF in your low level challenge by abusing Zombie plus Reflect. That took some time too. Nice. That's a strategy that I do tend to like to use if I ever get Bard and Mediator in the same team. Unfortunately, I usually only get one of the two pieces. I like that strategy. Although, you didn't even have the Fire Butte, so you used the Lightning, I guess. That does take some time. Oh. I mean, eventually you'll get there. Which version are you playing that on, if I may ask, Gigabuff? Because I know the Super Nintendo version, you do not reflect level 3 Flare with wall rings if you're not a multiple of 3 levels. Which I guess Ferris is. So that would work. As in Ferris is naturally just level 3. And I'm not sure about the rest. Oh, I see. You just waited for level 3 flares. That works. The Game Boy Advance version does reflect level 3 flares, 1 per wall ring character. So if you have 3 zombies with a wall ring, that actually probably works out quite well. Hey, I think that's a drink or so. Yeah, hero drink. Not that good. The chest on there, it can go straight down through the void. It contains the exit spell, which it can be used by a time mage, but we don't have a time mage, so I'm not going to even bother picking it up. You used GBA, but you did have level 3 characters. I see. That works. Omega is done. Congratulations, Dirty Hacks. Nice. So, alrighty, what do we want to go for? We already have this. We have this one because it's really good. And chain. I do want it just for the chance to paralyze enemies, because that can be really handy. What else do we go for? Okay, we have a gold shield already. We could get gold armor, but I don't think that's necessary. We can get one more beret, although I think I already have to. GBA tells you whether you already have certain things or not. I do have to. I already bought one. But this one version unfortunately does not. Then we have the gold armor, stealth armor, Gaia gear. Gaia gear increases power of earth-based spells, but we don't have actually, we do get bio right here, so might as well buy that. Could get a gauntlet, which is just defense for an accessory slot, but not all that great. I'm pretty sure we can get yeah, bio. Break and drain. Do we even need drain? Maybe. I don't plan on using drain anyways, but no, I don't think I'm going to use drain. I did not need to buy that. Drain is just, well, it absorbs HP from the enemy and gives it to you. The one advantage, I guess, of it is that it cannot be reflected, so that can be somewhat relevant. The Angel Suit, I think, can only be equipped by a chemist, I think. This area is supposed to be off limits, and they smash against the wall because they don't like you playing shopkeeper. So yeah, you get a new chain, which is just straight up stronger in terms of attack. Doesn't have an element attached to it, but since the magic power of a mediator is kind of questionable anyways, I don't think that really makes much of a difference. Darkness Bow is amazing, just because so many bosses and enemies are just susceptible to blind. It's kinda crazy. Dancing Dagger can be really good. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Having Time Mage can is really nice because you can teleport to some harder encounters. Oh, that's right. You can't teleport out of encounters. I keep forgetting that. I'm not sure I ever had a Time Mage. I think I did in one of the runs that I never ended up finishing. So, let's just... Oh, that's mean. Hurricane is mean. Don't think we can control him, but Darkness Bow has a really high chance of blinding enemies. You just fight. You can see that's a lot of damage from just fighting. Vampire? Ow. That's a mean one. Because Vampire actually deals damage based on how much HP character has lost at that point. So that was a lot of damage. Let's try to get Nightingale here. Come on. Ah, he is blinded. So his physical attacks tend to frequently miss now. And I think we just gained Equip Whips on Ferris. Wait. Catch and Release is even later than that? Oh no. Well, Ferris, I guess you're going to stay a mediator for a while. Oh my goodness. Oh, too bad. Too bad. So we need another 300 ability point for Catch and Release. I do plan on eventually having at least 2 people Catch and Release. Actually, I should have done the thing that I did at last year's opening race, where I leveled on the bot enemies. I actually kind of forgot about that even, being able to do that with control. Your Forge of Fiesta team is Night Zerker, Geomancer, Mystic Knight. It has no runaway ability, but it's really good at killing random encounters. I believe it. Especially with a knight, you may not even want to run away if you go for a Brave Blade run in the end. I mean, can you imagine a Berserker with 2 hands just whacking stuff? Like, Berserkers already inherently deal a ton of damage with each individual attack. But 2-hand literally doubles that attack. Well, in consequence you can't equip a shield anymore. And not all the weapons are 2-handable. But Berserkers will deal a tremendous amount of damage. I'm not even sure that's the best option you have there, though. What else option would you have in that team? Let's see. You just played nothing but people two-handing. Oh, that explains that. Nice. Can a Geomancer even two-hand anything? As in, I remember certain things you simply doesn't do anything if you two-hand it. Night Mindfire and... Oh. Free? Oh, Freelance and Dragoon was your first run. 200 for the win. Yeah, that just destroys everything because everybody can two-hand a pretty powerful weapon one way or another. You're really happy to get a Weight Mage as a second job because you're doing Brave Blade. Nice. Few months you can use shields now? I guess that's true. Knight eventually gets equipped shield. That's quite a thing. Two-hand only applies to swords, katanas, and axes according to the ability description. I think there's other weapons you can two-hand as well, but that's probably a good generalization. So axes are the berserkers use. Plus, if you have equipped knight swords eventually, that can be really powerful too, because there's a lot of really good knight swords that you don't necessarily get to use most of the time. Only katanas, swords, and axes? Alright, fair enough. Alrighty, now here we finally have access to a shop that actually has more in terms of equipment than it had in the previous ones. Let's see what we get new here, or can get for that matter. Bandana! We get 2 of those. They increase your strength by 3. Then the strength armor. Same deal, we increase the strength by 3. I'm actually going to keep regular armor on my knight, I think. I could get another power armlet too, or a power ring. You know what? I rarely even use power rings, but in this case I think that's actually quite useful. So here, bandana, strength ability. So Gallop as a hunter is now 52 strength. Ferris now has 49 strength. So essentially, those 3 items give 3 strength each. That's 9 strength total. So we are going to deal a tremendous amount more damage compared to what we did before. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that purchase. Do you have anything interesting at search? We could get a gold armor, but soon enough we will get something even better than that. I'm not going to bother with it for now. Killer bow. Ooh. That could be an interesting backup. Venom rods. Does that stack? I think it stacks. With the Gaia gear, that is. Venom rods increase earth-based attacks, or spells. And I think it stacks with Gaia gear, which means we should be able to deal even more damage with Bio now. I think. We definitely want Wild Killer Bow. Killer Bow has, I don't know, a 20% chance to insta-kill enemies, but it's still susceptible to chance of hit, so the insta-kill is not really guaranteed in any capacity. So that was quite a bit of money invested right there. Also, I probably do want to go ahead and get some more high potions now, though. Haha, that's just a few, I guess. Let's see, what can we sell? Triton is still lightning element, which might end up being useful. I like being able to silence stuff even if it's just a chance. We don't need 3 gold shields. We never have this use for this. Stealth gear is outdated, same as with the mithril thing. We can never use the Lamia's harp. I do believe we don't have any use for the angel gear. And green berets are outdated now thanks to us having +3 strength equipment. Silver rings we don't use anymore either. I have another training suit. Wait, did I get one more training suit for you too? It's less defense, but it's... Oh, no, the training suits are the old ones. Like that we don't fit only one strength. So we can sell that. It's okay. I like the Guardian Knife because it's always useful one way or another. Thanks to its physical block property. Okay, and the remainder we go invest into high potions, because that's going to be pretty much our only way of, well, dealing with enemies anyways. Okay. That looks like it's it, except for here, equip the Venom Rod and also equip the Gaia Gear. Even has more magic defense, which is pretty awesome. Hammers are indeed axes. Well, yes. They are, for all intents and purposes, hammers are considered to be axes. So I'm actually really curious whether Bio is now going to deal a tremendous amount of damage from our Black Mage thanks to Gaia Gear and the Venom Rod. I don't know whether that's how it works, but I'll try on enemies that are not immune against Gaia. Bio costs 16 MP. 1600, and I'm pretty sure this thing is not weak to Bio. So, just for testing purposes, I'm going to unequip the Gaia Gear to see whether this will be the same amount of damage on those cats. I just want to kill one cat to see whether this is going to have a similar impact. Root Golem. Maybe I shouldn't have taken extra steps, because I'm not going to really kill anything inside. Inside there's usually undead dragons. Unless it's a solo single... Oh, this guy. I'm not going to bother killing it. But since you can destroy those guys with single Phoenix Stones, might as well try. We get Dragon Fangs for our trouble. There's a cottage over to the right. I don't feel like it's worth the detour. Hit this thing. You jump onto this guy. You try to Phoenix down this thing. And actually, you Bio hit. 3240. I think this thing is actually weak to Bio. So, as long as I'm inside, I want to equip the Gaia Gear just to see whether we'll get the same encounter. Let's see. Probably shouldn't have bought that many high potions. Those are not worth fighting. They cannot be insta-killed by Phoenix Stone, plus they give actually less experience than zombie dragons too. Kinda mean. Alrighty, whatever. Outside there's those drippy enemies too, with the little hammers. So maybe we'll run into one of them here. If not outside. The golem just comes, attacks you once and then runs away. He's just a meanie. Would like to have to encounter inside, preferably, rather than outside in this case. We don't have that many Phoenix Downs left, but we don't really need that many anyways for the boss, so it should be fine. Plus, we will always get our Phoenix Down money invested returned thanks to Dragon Fangs being really expensive items that we can sell. Here we actually have a different opportunity. So, Gollum here is now in peril. He asks for help. What was the dancing dagger? Don't Jitterbug. No! Undeads reverse the effect of Jitterbug to it, so it's pretty unhealthy for us. Don't release. Just attack. I actually want to have the fire rod here for now. Those things are weak to fire. You donate him your magic points as well? Gollum, help me! Sure, we are working on it. We are working on it, good sir. Essentially, Gollum has a certain amount of HP, the monsters attack him, and eventually he dies. So you kind of are on a little bit of a clock, but nothing too intense or difficult. You really want to lose your magic, don't you? Even just regular attacks would be better here. So our reward for helping Gollum is that he will become our friend, and we can use him as a summon. The thing is, Gollum summon is really good, like really good. He absorbs a tremendous amount of physical damage. Also, he is no longer going to be around and just whacking us and then running away without us being able to do anything about it, so that's nice too. But since we don't have a summoner, of course, we can't really take advantage of Gollum being there, that is. So by the way, Phoenix Downs are not a guaranteed hit on those zombie dragons. So far I've just gotten lucky that we didn't miss. Well, it's a pretty high chance of insta-killing them, but it's by no means guaranteed. There's like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20% chance to miss? I don't know the number. It's probably also dependent on my level versus the enemy level. Oh, I actually forgot about something. Here we have a rather unique item. Oh, also... No, wait, you just aim, because those birds have really high evasion. I'm trying to... hit them, otherwise normally it's kind of difficult. So... Now I have both Venom Rod and Gaia Gear equipped, which I didn't have previously. Let's see, it was 3240 damage, I think. Okay, Gaia Gear and Venom Rod does not stack if Gaia Gear even does what I think it does. Either way, we have an Air Blade, which is a samurai weapon, wind-based. Kinda decent. The special thing about it is that it can unleash a Wind Slash ability, which is pretty neat, honestly. But the amazing thing about the Hypnochrone, it's called in the GBA version, or well, for in our case, oops, wrong character. In our case, it's the Coronet. The Coronet is an item that increases your chance to control enemies by a lot. I don't know how much exactly, but it's a lot. Now you kill Shin? Nice. Congratulations. I kind of wish I bought more Phoenix Downs so I could kill more stuff along the way. But at the same time, now that I think about it, maybe that's a horrible idea because I'm going to level up to level 30 before I know about. 30 is not a good level to be at. Both divisible by 3 and also by 5. Wait. We only used one. We had two in the last encounter still. Phoenix Downs. I started using it, but I did not end up using it. I never knew that. Oh. Less than ideal. Either way, we are going to be equipping the killer bow in here because the next boss is actually susceptible to being insta-killed. And aside from that, what do we do? Wait, did you already learn? You did learn animals already. Means I want to turn you into a hunter, so you learn animals too. Tame beast-type monsters. This works in the Super Nintendo version. It actually tames anything but beast-type monsters in the Game Boy Advance version, which can be abused. Kind of weird. Bone mail is by the way an equipment piece that we have just picked up earlier. So, no. No, not hunter, the wrong one. You become now a dragoon for now. With animals. You become... you're the hunter now already. We don't want the bone mail equipped, thank you very much. You get the killable. Go back row, you go front row. And... dancing dagger is what I want right now. Don't get the bone mail, because that's bad for us. Yeah, Valo, exactly, that's what I'm thinking too. Level 2 ult is another thing. It's not going to be too relevant anytime soon. But it's definitely a concern, eventually. Do you have jump already? You do have jump already. I was just curious, I don't think I'm going to use it though. Alrighty, you need to think or do anything in the next encounter. Nah, it'll be fine. We have a black mage. Wait, Lena could be now back to the black mage because... Galov could become the black mage again because he learned animals. That's what I wanted to do in the end. Right. Alrighty. So, what are we going to do? Is we hit the plant and hope for insta-kills. If not, eventually the... Ooh, sword dance. Damage, that's a lot of damage. Will whittle it down. So this thing is the reason why I actually have Almagist. Going to wait one turn though. Actually, can you bio these things? Wow, you can. Okay, I don't even need Almagist here, or Almagest. I'm going to release it on the next encounter then. Tempting Tingo. Trying to confuse it, but it doesn't do anything. So, how this boss fight works is the middle flower, the flower pod, essentially keeps resummoning little flowers. They only have 100 HP, but they have an attack that never misses, under any circumstance basically. And each of the little flowers... Wow, another sword dance? Holy smokes. Each of the little flowers uses a different attack. This was graying pollen. It puts the aging status effect on you. There is the curse pollen, paralyzes you. There are... you get the idea. Basically, those things put just all kinds of status effects on you. The idea is essentially to cripple your character's party and just whittle them down with very little damage. They're not usually that much of a concern in being able to defeat them, unless you get all of your characters aged and you can't control the little plants. It can be quite a mess. If you catch an Aquathorn enemy, it has a chance to insta-kill the plant. That's true, I forgot about that. Speaking of Aquathorn, I do want to catch other stuff too. So I should have used it here. Aquathorn enemy also has a chance to insta-kill the next boss. Which that would be kind of handy too. I don't have any more Phoenix Stones. Else I would throw it at him. But that's true, yeah. Actually kind of forgot about Aquathorn. So yeah, Beastmaster is incredibly versatile, and if you know which plants to use in which situation, or which enemies for that matter, you can make your life a whole lot easier. But at the same time, most of the enemies around here are not really that much of a concern anyways. So I'm not going to sweat it if I don't have the optimal situation and configuration for that matter. Those drippy enemies, you can actually learn a blue magic from them, which is called Magic Hammer. Same as Biblos used already earlier. And it halves the enemy's current magic points by half. Which is actually a very efficient way of removing an enemy's or a boss's MP pool entirely. And some bosses you can just entirely cripple by doing that. It's kind of fun. I like doing that. So, I'm going to buy some Phoenix Stones on the way back. Oh, right. I guess I'm going to get that afterwards, after the next boss. People who know what I'm talking about know it, but you want to catch a frog in order to give it over to a guy here in town. That gives you a very useful item to catch monsters. So, where's the... Oh, we cannot sell Golem? Too bad. So, we buy, let's say 15 Phoenix Stones. Actually 20. Then a bunch more high potions and we are set for now. Is Magic Hammer a viable strat against Omniscient? I think yes. Although, you should also have some other abilities that actually deal damage. By the way, this is an Aquathorn. It has a rather unique ability to insta-kill enemies, which is really strong. Reset costs 1 MP actually. So you do not eventually have to kill him with magic. So I'm going to pick up, I don't know, about 2000 gold here on the side. In the form of a Great Blade. Great Blade is, well, a sword that can be used by other sword users that are not knights. But we don't have any of those. So it's basically just for sale. Would you consider Blue Mage Berserker Gladiator as Triple Crown viable? Oh, that's what Forbidden does. Okay. You can try it. I honestly don't really see it. The thing is, I don't really know Gladiator, so I don't really know what Gladiator does exactly, to be honest. Because it's a Game Boy Advance shop and I don't I haven't really played around with those. But Berserker and... Blue Mage is really good, but Berserker kind of makes it pretty tough. Actually, you can deal with Shinryu. But I'm not sure that it's too late already, because I'm not sure you can still get a power staff. If you get a power staff... Actually, you don't necessarily need a power staff. There is the Wonder Rod you can get from the Twin Towers. I assume you picked it up already. The Wonder Rod can eventually cast Berserk, and you can Berserk Shinryu with that. And then you have an item called the Mirage Vest that you can get from various enemies around here. Not around here. Just, you can get Mirage Vest, let's put it that way. Which casts 1 charge of Blink, as in 1 physical attack will miss you. And you can eventually also just make it so... If you switch weapons, as in just switch them, just switch hand weapons, so to speak, you actually can redo or recharge that charge from the Mirage Vest. So in theory, you should be able to defeat Shinryu as long as you can equip a Mirage Vest and the Blue Mage can be fast enough to redo or, well, yeah, redo that effect every time. So you can defeat Shinryu with just the Blue Mage alone. It's probably going to take a while, but it should be doable. Yeah, I can't really see Omega. Like, you probably survive Omega with high enough levels thanks to White Wind of the Blue Mage. And also Big Guard for that matter. But... you don't really have a good option of how to deal damage to him. Like, Berserker doesn't really have a chance to hit him realistically. On top of that, you probably don't want the Berserker to hit at all. But 2 Blue Mages, I actually have no idea how Forbidden works. I just kind of learned at some point that you lose one of the job classes, I guess. But either way, 2 Blue Mages can keep the party alive against Omega without too much trouble. The problem is going to be dealing damage. Like, what can you do as a Blue Mage for dealing damage to that thing? My best thought just now was using 1,000 needles for 1,000 damage each time, but that's super slow. Yeah, with a bar the Omega would be trivial. So yeah, as powerful as Blue Mage is, it can keep you alive and healthy against Omega indefinitely pretty much with Blue Magic, but I can't really see how you can deal damage to him with that combination. It's already too late, Lethlin. I've seen it yesterday accidentally in Magus's Discord too. I kind of try to not think about it, but it's too easy to just figure out what it is based on circumstantial evidence. So it's alright. I mean, as I said, I kind of expected to accidentally get spoiled on it. So I'm not going to be mad. Don't worry. That's just... As I said, I was pretty sure what it was when I read stuff in Magus Discord yesterday already. So there's that. You're going to run off MP before Omega runs out of HP? Yeah, well, you can grind elixirs. That's always an option for MP, for that matter. Actually, I mean, in theory, you can do it. It will just take ages with 1,000 needle. Because you also will want to wait until Omega targets himself so you don't get encircled. One stray errand, yep, someone gets killed, yeah. I mean, your best option is actually probably having the Berserker be a zombie with a wall ring. That way he doesn't deal any accidental hits to Omega. At the wrong time, so to speak. So you can control when you do damage to Omega. So yeah, like 40-50 elixirs, you should be able to do it. Probably don't even need that many, but it would just take a long time. It's definitely doable, now that I think about it. Because, as I said, you don't really want to attack Omega unless he targets himself, which you need a wall ring for. Okay, just 5 more ABP for Moth as the hunter. Then he has animals as well. Do you have animals? You don't have animals. Thing. Oh, Ferris is just slowly going towards learning. Catch and release. Can Gladiator use Masamune? I don't know what a Gladiator can use. Yeah, actually, that would be... If you can do that, that would be really convenient. That would be one way to get haste. And big guards just keeps you afloat against Earthshaker. I mean, if you even level just to have everybody at 2000 HP, you would even survive a retaliation mustard bond, potentially. Yes, you can target enemies, I think. Oh, I need to attack normally. They actually give a lot of experience and gold for how easy they are to kill. Maybe I should kill all of them. Everything? Wow. Yeah, you can bounce haste then over to yourself. Could be quite useful. Green Studio Kevik Viper, welcome. Oh, that was an insta-kill proc from the Killer Boy. Killer Bow. Speaking of which, Darkness I want on Gilgamesh here. Darkness Bow has a really high chance of, well, blinding enemies, and just making his physicals miss most of the time is already really handy. Yeah, you just attack. And Baya is probably our best bet here. Also a lot of damage, holy cow. I didn't realize how much damage I would have. He's already in the second phase? Wow. So you can actually insta-kill both Enkidu and Gilgamesh. So I'm going back to the Killer Bow now. And this is where I kind of wanted to... Ah, it is Almagest. Nice. They also now have the HP leak status, if they didn't have it already before. Can he break this guy? No, I'm pretty sure he cannot. But he can weaken him. Ouch, Twin Slash is a lot of damage. Paris also does a lot of damage. And you're dead now, sir. He only has 4000 HP. As indicated by White Wind, which heals exactly for as much as your current HP is at. So yeah, we have a lot of damage, holy cow. Like, I knew we had a lot of damage, but now I really realize we do have a lot of damage. You could actually use the Wonder Rod to cycle for haste, so you could try to give one of your Wall Ring users haste. Assuming the Gladiator can use the Wonder Rod. Well, actually, Blue Mage can use the Wonder Rod. So you can bounce off Omega's wall, the haste status onto yourself. So that should be actually quite fun, useful too. Alrighty. Oh, right. Actually, we get immediately locked into this area, don't we? I thought I could go outside and then grab another thingy, but nope. It'll be fine. I'm not too worried. So here is where, traditionally, you can try to grab a Wall Ring from the Wall Knights. And that's actually our only option to get a Wall Ring if we were to try and get one. So I will definitely try and kill all the Wall Knights along the way, one way or another. So I'm hoping for a Wall Ring drop. If we don't get any, it should still be fine in the end, but it will probably level us to level 30 along the way. Yeah, let's just go for it. Also worth noting that Wall Rings, of course, Wall Knights, of course, do have wall, so that means they reflect spells. So we want to be a bit careful about that. I'm not going... Should I try and take out the Red Dragon? I mean, I'm going to give it one shot, why not? It's going to be a bit silly, but might as well try. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and also do this. I feel like this doesn't give me quite enough time. Probably different on GBA versus Super Nintendo in battle speed. Oh, that's just rude. Aim at him. I could use Darkness Bow here instead. Nice sword dance from the back line. How much damage does a Venom Rod do anyways? Oh, it reflects off the Wall Knight too. I didn't realize that. Killer Bow has more damage and chance to insta-kill enemies, but Darkness Bow can, well, blind enemies very reliably so they don't retaliate. So I think I'm going to use the Darkness Bow for now. Also, if I want to go ahead and try to tackle the dragon, let's see. Yeah, not a dragon. Okay. He's very likely now. I don't know what the catch and release on is anything interesting here. Oh, that's stunned. Nightingale, how convenient. Pretty strong heal thanks to the magic power of the black. Mage. Also worth noting that those Wall Knights have a lot of magic defense. The Bee Swarm! Kind of hope this would kill it. Okay, you are blinded too now, that's nice. By the way, those little magnetes, they don't really do anything aside from magneting. I think they only start using attacks after they are the only character left. They do have a tremendous amount of, well, defense and HP. They don't look like it. They look frail, but they are not actually. They have also a fair bit of evasion, which makes them a bit annoying. Sword dance. Well, good night. And Tantar. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, Tantar. Congratulations on your job, and well, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to you. Well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. And I wish you all the best with your job. That sounds pretty awesome. That sounds really awesome, actually. So, okay, we are trying to take on this dragon. This is a pretty questionable endeavor on my end, honestly. I shouldn't do that. Going to do it anyways, just because maybe it's going to be interesting. Let's see. So, first of all, I want to try and blind him. I'm not attacking once or twice with you. I should have put you in the back row. I'm pretty sure you cannot control the dragon. You can. Oh. You can control the dragon. We didn't succeed, but we can. They are weak to ice, they are undead too. Atomic Ray. Ouch. Try to control. Ice him. No Atomic Ray, please. Alright. Oh, I should equip the Ice Bow now that he's most likely blinded anyways. Animals for healing. Thank you. Very good, Galuf. Not so strong, but could be useful. Ah, come on, Ferris. I should have also used animals on Lennart there. By the way, I'm just pausing to assess my next move, because I'm really slow trying to figure out stuff sometimes. So he doesn't get extra turns for no good reason. Oh, that's good damage. Oh, he's dead already! Hooray! And we get a Drain Sword, which is, by the way, something we cannot even use. I just wanted to have it, because I can't get it. Okay. Let me actually put Galuf into the back row and give him a Wind Trident, so the jump attack does a lot of damage. And good evening, Selas. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. You've been waiting for a year for a decent job, so very excited. Nice. I really hope it works out well for you. Oh, that's a lot of those walnuts. Blind them first of all. And you can't really do much aside from hitting them. So we don't really have any good way of taking those guys out at all. Stab might be a 100% hit move. I don't actually know that. Oh, they get stopped right here. Sometimes anyways. Trying to kill Probus with a Bard, Chemist, and Berserker. Would it take a while? Yeah, you don't have much damage output, do you? Well, actually the Berserker is pretty good, and you can stop them with the Sing ability, I think. So you have a good shot at it, I would say. Good luck. The feel when you're hunting a Pueblos out of MP. Yeah, thankfully they only cost a rise twice. And then they're out of magic. Or once? Once or twice. It's not much. But it's within reason, I would say. Squirrel attack! Oh, that's actually a lot of damage right there. Maybe I should just use the sword and stagger. At least it deals... Well, I guess the jump deals reliable damage, which is the big plus about it. It won't stop to arise, at least in PC/iOS. Oh wow, I had no idea. That's different then. In the PC iOS version, knights at critical will still cover for each other. Is that not the case for other versions? Because I don't know that one actually. And yes, you can actually definitely spam Love Song on Purebros. It works. I guess if you have at least a Death Sickle, not sure what it's called in other versions, the scythe that has a chance to proc Doom, that should work pretty well on Stop Song Purebros. Do you get Stop Song already actually? I think you do. You usually cover stops once you hit critical. Interesting. I actually never thought about that because I don't think I've ever wanted to let my Knight's HP drop low. Your water chop is Red Mage alongside Monk. Not the greatest synergy, but actually Monk melee ability, basically strength going over to the Red Mages, can be really awesome, so good luck with that. Good luck with that, Leonis. So, what do I do against those yellow dragons? I can't control one. Wow, another back attack. That's just mean. Okay, so next up we are against yellow dragons. I think we are going back to the Venom Rod here, because they don't have any particular weakness, I don't think. You go for Dancing Dagger and try to dance them to death. Try to control one and blind one of them again. Do we have the Darkness Bow equipped already? Okay. By the way, I'm a big fan of blind, being able to blind enemies. It's amazing. I just like when they miss all the time. Oh. That's not what I expected. It's not what I expected at all. Try to control it. Nice heal, Galuf. You have animals as well for now. Try to heal a bit more. Okay, he's already blinded. I did not need to attack twice. The chance for blinding is really good. Nice, Galuf. He's doing a lot of work there. Try to control it, Paris. Good. Okay, we win. I thought this would be 2 yellow dragons, but I guess it has a chance of being a red dragon again. I did not mean to use Mesidian Rabbit. So you can just use ice. Because once again, this thing is weak against ice. You can use animals still, because you don't have anything else to do. Level 3 flare. Let's see whether that does anything. Oh, don't use animals. Yep, that's pretty good. Level 3 flare it is. That's true, you can break rods with red mages, which is pretty powerful, especially early on. Gold hairpin. What a gold hairpin does, it reduces magic cost by 50%. So our black mage will now deal significantly more damage, because we don't have to worry about magic points quite as much. So I'm going to run around here for, let's say, 3 encounters, hoping for another Wall Knight to show up. And if we don't get a Wall Knight for a Wall Ring drop, then we're just going to move on. I think we have enough damage for the boss anyways. I didn't realize how much damage we have. Holy cow. Okay, one more. A Wall Ring is a 1 in 16 chance to drop, so not particularly likely. But it can happen. When I did my solo white mage playthrough... Okay, we're just going now. When I did my solo white mage playthrough, I happened to get it first try. Galuf, actually you want to have black magic for the next encounter. And not a bone mail. Bone mail is really bad for you here. Oh, also, don't underestimate the ability to use the healing rod as a red mage. That's pretty awesome too. Okay, here we have another boss. He is a rather unique boss. Well, kind of most bosses in this game are rather unique, which is kind of part of the reason why I like it so much. Either way, this boss, as long as one of your party members is dead, he will just kind of pull them towards him until he basically sucks them up and they are removed from battle. And then he does, again, what he does when none of your party members are dead. He will use Comet, which is an incredibly powerful attack, 2 to 3 times a turn. Actually, he can use it up to 5 times because he's that fast. That's not true, up to 6 times. But, curious enough, he can be put to sleep. Oh, I didn't give anything to Ferris that would be useful. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Bio does a good chunk of damage, so that's nice. I'm actually going to put Ferris to sleep, because she literally cannot contribute anything anyways. So, it would be a bit difficult to hold down the A button to win if I do that. Oh, just putting her to sleep. Might as well. And the only way you pick up sleep is by using a jump, fight, or aim command. Anything that, well, just yanks him out of his sleep, really. And that's not something we want. Oh, you don't have bio yet. That's unfortunate. Oh. I accidentally used another Phoenix down there. That doesn't really do anything. You could also use animals, but Ferris just doesn't have animals, so I'm just going to send her to sleep. You can wake up when we win. And that's all. Stop songs are good. Yeah, stop song is amazing because very few bosses even are immune to stop. Or slow. Actually, slow is better, generally speaking, because most bosses are not immune to slow, but quite a few are immune to stop. Either way, this guy is a true menace. Basically a damage race. He has 20,000 HP, and if you don't have any way to sleep him, your way of dealing with him is usually you have one person dead, and then you just deal as much damage with the other 3 people as you can, and before the last the person dead gets sucked into his mouth, you revive them. And kill someone else off. Usually you want to kill someone else off manually, because otherwise that can be a bit of a problem. How much does bio cost? 16? I think it was 16, so he has 2 more bio spell casts, Galuf that is, but we should kill him before that. So it will be fine. You'll just F by math him. I guess his level is a multiple... No, his level is initially 41. And there's a blue mage spell where you can half his level with Dark Shock. And... because everything gets rounded down, instead of him being level 20 and a half, he will be level 20 in the end if you just half his level, and then his HP or his level is divisible by 5, you level 5 doom him and he's dead. It's a pretty viable strategy, honestly. Also rather quick. Skull Eater enemies are immune to death procs. Yeah, that sounds about right. You have no other way to get him unless you throw money at him. I mean, that works too. Just straight up power. The way, as I said, the way I described how some people do him, defeat Atmos is, well, the way I first defeated him casually. I did have a red mage, so I did technically have access to sleep, but I didn't realize you could sleep him. Nowadays, I just kind of know almost all the weaknesses and strengths of bosses, so it makes it a lot more straightforward. Alrighty. It's pretty loud again. By the way, I don't know how we get away from the Hero to the submarine again, but I'm okay with this. Fun fact, if you have Galuf in the lead right here, you would have 2 Galufs standing around. Doesn't work on the GBA version. Do you have anyone that can attack with swords? Oh, that might be a thing. Is the effect of Ancient Sword level 2 old, or just this aging effect, or is it the same? Aging is always the same effect. Whether it's from the Ancient Sword or through level 2 old, it's the same deal. Sleep blades are really good though, that's true. I keep forgetting about it because it's not usually relevant to my team. But that's a really good suggestion. If you have someone who can use swords, sleep blades can be a viable option, which I believe you can buy in the castle just after you receive the hero drake. Normally, I just straight up skip that castle. Not much of a reason for me to go there. Catch a few sets, indeed. Yeah, but a lot of things do count as magic damage. Still toss is magic damage for all intents and purposes, I think anyways. But even if it's just sleeping him for a turn, that can still be good. Plus, the sleep blades are actually pretty strong, so it can still work. This simultaneously is one of my least favorite and most favorite areas. Least favorite because there's not really any treasure in here to be found. Just completely void of any chests at all. And favorite because there is an opportunity for blue mages and also anyone that can use the staff to have a really valuable encounter with those metamorphas. You know what I'm going to try? I'm going to equip the killer bow on you and just shoot one shot at the metamorpha, hoping he dies, and if not, I'm just going to run away. Couch 23 managed to AI loop Atmos last night. Atmos did nothing but cast Whirlpool to no effect for the rest of the battle. What? Whirlpool? How do you even get Whirlpool? I don't even know how that's supposed to work. Oh. Oh, that thing. Where he removes the character from battlefield. That's kind of weird. Never seen that before, but at the same time, usually I tend to try and avoid him sucking someone into the void anyway, so there's not much of a chance I would ever get to see that. Wormhole? Wormhole sounds about right. That's pretty interesting indeed, I do agree. I don't even know whether you can insta-kill those guys. What does a Metamorpha drop? Metamorpha drops a 1 in 16 chance, or, well, Metamorpha has a 1 in 16 chance to drop a light staff. If you have someone who can use a staff, like a chemist, a white mage, or a red mage, breaking a light staff casts Holy, and the boss of the World 2 is weak to Holy. Interesting. Thank you. That's very interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that. So, also, with this here, we get access to Moor. And the village of Moor. Which is really handy because the village of Moor has the next level black magic spells, which are incredibly powerful. Going to be way better to use than bio on anything that isn't just straight up immune or resistant to those kinds of spells. That's going to be what I will want to use. Nice, Profness. Yeah, I don't know whether you can insta-kill Metamorphos. Maybe I don't even need to try. Let me actually look that up real quick. Metamorpha. Metamorpha enemies. They are immune to death, stone, toad, poison, aging, and mute. So, indeed, you cannot insta-kill them. So I probably... Well, I don't need to try anymore. Because there's no way to insta-kill them. By the way, this is also approximately the place where you will see the strong difference between a black mage and a red mage. If you have both in your party, you would also already see that red mage at this point would deal a fair bit less damage magically than a black mage, just because the magic power is just not nearly as good. But now that we have access to level 3 fire, thunder, and blizzard, lightning, whatever. That stuff. Oh, wrong one. The power of the black mage kind of skyrockets. So Metamorphos transforms into one of 3 different possible, well, creatures. Shiva is one of them, and there's actually 3 different types of Metamorpho enemies that essentially can see up to 3 different metamorphoses, or whatever you want to call those things. And here we are in Moor, or Mua. Mua is very much the Japanese pronunciation of Moor, so it's Mua, because that's how they would spell it. And Fantranslation just kind of took that rather literal, which can't blame them for that. They maybe have just not realized that Moor is Moor. Oh, I see, that's what I mean, Lord of Hyphens. Less is more. Sure, we can go with that. Alrighty. We can get Fire 3, Ice 3 and Bolt 3. Of course we will get all 3 of those, because they will be useful at different times. We don't have a time mage. Otherwise this would have been a really expensive village, which actually it kind of is anyways. Is it really? Here we can get air lances. Everybody can equip it. It's a more reliable weapon than the dancing dagger, to say the least. And it also increases wind-based spells damage, but we don't have any wind-based spell damage, I don't think. Actually, I wonder whether it works in conjunction with catching and releasing a Drake. That would be interesting. Doesn't anyone know that? Whether that's a thing. Elven Bow is also quite interesting, but... well, actually no, it's not interesting, is what I meant to say. It just deals more damage. It doesn't even have any special ability attached to it. I'd rather have special abilities of the Killer Bow, the Blind Bow, and those things. Sometimes straight up damage can be useful, but for the most part, I'm just going to ignore that. And here we get a diamond helmet for our Dragoon, which actually cuts incoming lightning damage in half. It's pretty awesome. A Lumina rope, which I believe increases magic power. And I don't think Diamond Pelt is anything too interesting. We have something that increases damage, or yeah, strength anyways. So, just mainly something for our Dragoon here. I could buy a diamond shield, but it's kind of pointless because there's going to be a better shield coming up very soon. Give him the air lance. That's all I want here. You get the Lumina robe. Yes, it increases magic power by 2. Also better defense and magic defense. Very nice. And you get nothing. That's actually all you want. Okay. That's good. And that's pretty much all we want to get from here. But I actually forgot something. I wanted to grab a Maelstrom creature, and also an item that will make grabbing that Maelstrom creature significantly easier. So I actually will want to go ahead and get the Hero back. I think you can do that. So we can fly around again rather than using the submarine. Here is, yeah. Oh, it's a black chocobo? What? No, it is the hero. Okay. Oh. Now that I don't have anything that costs Almagest anymore, I don't feel too bad about actually catching something else that is somewhat useful-ish. Who is my next duel? Gordo. G3RD0, I think. Gordo's really good. At least execution-wise, he's at least twice as good as me, I would say. I should be able to just read the logic. I don't even need to necessarily take any gambles as long as I try to be as efficient as possible. Maybe try to choose a different coin flip than he would choose, for that matter. So what I'm looking for is a frog. There we go. How much HP does a frog have? Let's see. He misses. Don't kill it, please. You take care of this thing. And he tried to control that thing. Okay, it didn't die, so that's good. I shouldn't have controlled that thing. Rock song. Okay, just kill it. I don't know how much HP these things have. Let's see. I had to catch it. Need to weaken it some more. Alrighty. So what I need to do is I need to use another weapon that does not deal as much damage. Ooh. No! You meanie! I want to catch you. Come on. To be fair, his fate is not much better. So, one attack from you. They might have just about 1000 HP from all I can tell. And this is just under 1000 damage. And we just got him. Alrighty. We just steal and kidnap one of your friends. And then we're out of here. You did not need to attack us after all, I guess. But, so, we have a frog now. What do we do with a frog? Well, here's this guy in the well. Frog! This weird guy. For a frog and 10,000 gil, he trades us something that I don't have enough gil for. Either way, he wants a frog for food, but he realizes that he also has an item that is pretty expensive and useful. So he doesn't necessarily want to get rid of it. Yeah. I'm not going to break rods anymore, because rod breaking essentially unleashes the level 3 spell anyways. I might as well sell the leftovers. Don't need this thing anymore. Can never use dark matter anyways. I'm not going to use the thunder whip anymore. Airblade we sell. Episode, there we go. We have enough money now. Normally I would want to sell the coronet because it is incredibly expensive to just sell, as in it gives you a lot of money. But we have a Beastmaster in our party, and that's actually a useful item for him. So, we have now the Corner Jar. Doesn't have any stats attached to it, so you might wonder, why is that supposed to be any good? Well, you know how we had to weaken enemies below 1/8 of their HP up until now? Now we only have to weaken them below half of their HP. So that means catching certain enemies and bosses is, not bosses, just enemies, is going to be way easier now. Frogs are friends. Not those frogs, those were toads. Those were meanies, they attacked me. Did I trade my friends for jars? I guess so. And remember the guy that we fought here, that where I said has the Maelstrom ability? Well, I want to get one of those guys. Alrighty, oh, I need to change that back. Okay, he also now gets the... Let's just use Ice Rod. Black Magic Ice 3 on this thing. They also respawn with Needle, which I think can blind you, but it doesn't usually. Oh, don't miss Ferris. So, I want to have the Darkness Bow here. There we go. Now we start weakening it. We need to deal 7,500 damage to it. And you can also paralyze it, which is convenient. blind it. I think I can now catch it after the ice tree. This game has so many obscure mechanics that are never explained. Yep. Did we just oh, we leveled up to level 30. Oh no. Oh. At least for the next encounter it's going to be useful, but afterwards I will need to go for one more level actually. But hey, we have one of those thingies now. Let me give Ferris back her power armlet. Final Fantasy V added the Novas classes. I don't know what the Novas class is, to be honest. Advanced version. Oh, I see. You mean oracles? Either way, I don't think they are used in speedruns, because I don't think there's a category that goes into the end game currently. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a category that goes into the end game. So for the most part, the answer is probably no. But I might be mistaken. And yes, Profness, that happens. Oh, in runs. Sorry, my mind automatically goes to speedruns. But yes, actually, you can get version-specific jobs. I don't know about how to unlock them, so I don't know which ones are even eligible to be gotten. Sorry. So... and we move on. We probably want to kill some stuff along the way, which I think some enemies in here should probably be weak to fire, so... just equip a fire rod. Your new run has freelance ranger, dancer and summoner. Pretty solid, actually. Very solid overall. You can do pretty much everything. Good luck with that. Preemptive attack. Those Gajira don't have much HP, but they usually have a lot of evasion, so hitting them is difficult, but we have a ranger. Also, I think they absorb pretty much every element. But there's that too. I guess they don't absorb wind. Aim at this. We're fighting Kaiju now? Not Gojira. It's Gajira. Or Gajiri? I don't know. Once. That thing there. The green mist. Yes, we are in World 2. Galuf is still here, not for long. Oilers. Nice, good hit, Galuf. They can see the power of fire. Or those 3 spells, it's just crazy. How much of a damage spike you get essentially from having a black mage. There's an ether in the chest on the right there. We haven't used any ethers so far, but we might eventually run into a situation where I would want to have some ethers. No, you meanie. That absorbs my magic points. Not much, as you could see, but still. I would like to keep all of them. By the way, daggers have or cut enemy evasion in half, which is why Galuf has a higher chance to hit on those thingies. Kak. Dada. Kak. I like your reference. How much bow do you have? Darkness. Blind him. Jump. Ow. Guess he's not blinded. You tried to... By the way, when Ferris hesitates before going back, that means she tried to paralyze the enemy. And it didn't work. Okay. A tricorn hat. Huh. I know that's a rare drop from the mini mages. I don't know what it does though. Tricorn. Yes. Man magic power and decent amount of defense. The thing is, we don't really have anyone who would want to equip that. Because even though we could equip it on our black mage, the gold needle just cuts magic cost in half. It's way better. Generally speaking. Wait, I forgot a list. Actually, I can just have Gallop jump and that guarantees a hit rather than hoping that Gallop for Ferris hits eventually. Oh wait, the jump only comes down after I can attack with my hunter anyways, so might as well defend with those two, I guess. More targets if enemies attack us that are actually receiving only half the damage. And I don't know about the virtual console at all, to be honest. It's actually so unusual for me to fight everything along the way. As I said, usually it's just like... I ignore everything. But thanks to having actually really good area of effect damage with Fire 3, that works really well. My hat, it has 3 corners. The corners has my hat. And if it had not 3 corners, then it would not be my hat. Is that a thing? Or a song? Oh, they counterattack with slip. Or maybe they are just that fast and attack with slip. I don't know. Either way, I assume Fire 3 will take them out rather quickly. Oh, he actually survived, so I do want to attack once on the other guy. American colonial nursery song with... I see. Interesting. I do remember a song akin to that. Which was probably translated into German, I imagine. Time for good music for you? Nice. I think that's not all that useful. I think that's only a cottage. Which, to be fair, is kind of useful. For my team anyways. Charm. Oh, might as well get it while I go over here. Yeah, it's just a cabin. Cabin fills up, I think, all of your magic points and also HP, compared to a tent, which has limited use on that end. I think has a lot of defense. But a single target fire 3 will probably deal a lot of damage here. Battle on the bridge for you? Nice. 3000 damage, single target. Black level 6. Oh boy. There's a save point there, but I don't need it. Do I even need to attack with those guys? I think this thing only has like 3000 HP in the first place. Actually, you know, I might as well use that save point for the cabin that I just got and restore all of Lena's magic points. So that sounds like a good idea. Fire is so strong. How much experience does that thing give? 550? Not half bad for a single attack. There's an elixir on the left. There's a Morningstar just straight up. Morningstar is a weapon that a white mage can equip. And also a bunch of other classes, but mostly white mage. Or anyone that can use a staff for that matter. It's a decently strong weapon. But its main use, realistically, is that a white mage actually does not really have any other weapon aside from a flail from literally the second dungeon of the game that he could use before for damaging purposes. And if you do a solo white mage challenge, receiving this thing is amazing because suddenly you actually deal damage with your weapon and you have to rely on the flail before that. There's no other way. I should have attacked the worm instead. Song is amazing as a full orchestral arrangement. I believe it. Let me see actually. Does anyone have equipped bows? No. Equipped whips. We have equipped bows? No. I thought someone had Hunter higher level. But actually no. I think Ferris was closing in on the higher level. But didn't actually end up getting it. Could make a white mage circle for damage. You could. I mean, the thing is, the Morningstar isn't the best weapon. But it's a ginormous upgrade for a white mage. I'm not sure, but yes, actually you can, in fact. Not all that bad. So there's a chest over here with the Aegis shield. If you pick it up after the fire is over, you actually get a flame shield, which has higher physical evasion, 40% instead of 33, and absorbs fire. But Aegis shield has a 1 in 3 chance to block any and every single one of the spells or abilities that are coming towards the Mystic Knight and grants a few invulnerabilities in terms of status effects. So Aegis Shield is just a more universal tool to use. I forgot actually that there was a free heal down here. I could have just waited instead of using the cabin to heal up the magic points on Lena. What level? Or how long until the next level? 1,000, 1,100 experience actually, so we can actually get another level before we encounter the enemies. Also the chest on the right is empty now, because we picked up the shield already. There's truth in this chest. It's a throwing item for a ninja that blinds enemies. So pretty awesome in my build book, but... oh. That's just me. I'm also going to pick up this thing here. This is a drain sword. Oh, flame tongue, excuse me. Basically a knight sword that is has fire-based damage. That's it. Nothing more or less fancy than that. By the way, speaking of music, I remember there's one redeeming factor, also one more encounter right now. One redeeming factor about the PlayStation version, which generally speaking is not considered to be particularly great, for good reason. The music on that is actually really awesome. With the exception of Gilgamesh's theme, ironically enough. I did not mean to use animals. But yeah, the music on the PlayStation version is really awesome for the most part. But, well, with the exception of Gilgamesh's theme. The redeeming factor is Wyvern. Sure, we can go with that too if you'd like. Alrighty. We get an ether for trouble too. So, the reason why I go out here is because I can tent up. And also save. Because the upcoming encounter is one of the walls for a lot of people. And also a lot of teams. We actually leveled up a lot already. Level 31 is way more than I usually have. So... I would be able to reasonably easily kill those things without too much trouble anyways. But this is why I ended up catching a creature that can release Maelstrom. So, we are about to fight the Seal Guardians, or Crystals, I guess, as you can call them. Those enemies have... Those are 4 enemies, they have all different elements. And the different elements basically are... On the right side we have Water, Aqua Rake. On the bottom we have Earth, Earthshaker. On the top we have Fire 3, Fire Crystal. And on the left we have Aeroga, or Air 3 attack, a Wind Crystal. And the difficulty of dealing with them... Okay, Darkness Bow is actually what I want. The difficulty of dealing with them is that once they drop below 3000 HP total, they start unleashing an insane area of effect damage that hits your entire party for between 600 and 900 damage. It's pretty crazy, and they also continuously attack before that. They don't do anything but attacking, but that's kind of the reason why I want to have them blinded, because even though they don't seem to have eyes, I can still blind those enemies. That's exactly what I'm aiming to do here. No pun intended, but that's what I'm aiming to do. Also, I actually forgot about this too. What I want to do here real quick is wait until 2 or 3 of them attack. The last one attacks right now, and then we release. So, here, Maelstrom, if you're lucky. Oh, only one gets hit. Maelstrom weakens an enemy to critical HP which is below 10. And I kind of hope to get a better shot at... All those are unintentional puns. A better shot at doing that for us. Didn't quite work out the way I planned it to be, but oh well. Okay, my next order of operation is essentially just whittling down the front crystal, dealing about 4,700 damage-ish. That's the goal anyways. I have actually not even counted his HP, so it's going to be random or interesting, I guess, whether I'm going to be able to get to that. Oh, we have Bolt 3 and back on Galuf as well. Nice. He has black magic pretty high, I guess. Okay, the left crystal is blinded. The right crystal I still don't know because we keep dodging their attacks. You start using high potions here to restore health for now. Just so we potentially survive a retaliation attack. I don't know whether the top crystal is blinded. The left one is still blinded. Sure, you're my best damage dealer right now. Okay, the right crystal does not appear to be blinded. Or we just got unlucky, because they can still hit you even if they are blinded. But what I'm going to do is I'll wait until the crystal on the right attacks now. And then we are going to go full force in terms of damage. 500. Full force in terms of damage means we also use the Killer Bow, which by the way, they are susceptible to instant death, but Killer Bow's chance to hit them is so low that I don't usually bother trying if I have all options. Wow, that's 3,000 damage. I should not use Bolt, they are immune to Bolt. Derp. Fire is the only thing I can do. The idea was to kill him before he can move again, but I guess I didn't push him close enough to the threshold. Now he's Akko-raking me. That's a lot of damage. However, we should be able to kill it soon. Oh my goodness. He had a lot more HP than I gave it credit for. But this should almost guaranteed kill it. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, we only have those two crystals left now. So my next order of operation is trying to just shoot them with a killer bow. I should shot this thing like 3 times at twice now. In the meantime, the rest of the party heals, so we dealt about 1,000 damage to it so far. Just topping up for everybody. And, I mean, the reason why I still attack with Moth here, or Butts I guess, is because there's still a chance to insta-kill. It's unlikely, but it can happen. So, we have about 1,500 damage. So the top crystal is the slowest, but also the most damaging one of the bunch. On top of that, he is actually... he absorbs fire damage. I'm not sure I will be able to use the burst damage with Lena. He might be also immune to other elements, but I'll see that in a second, I guess. So, 2,000 damage here. I'm going to stop at 4,000. Everybody else is going to just defend, I think. Actually, no. You are going to try whether this thing is vulnerable to other forms of magic. Actually, Bio should work, I think. Let's try Ice 2 for now. I don't want to deal too much damage. Okay, it is immune, as I've expected. What was that? 3,000 damage now? Probably 3,000. Let's only attack 2 more times. With Butts alone. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and use Bio. Which should almost certainly work. I'm going to open up with Lena's attack rather than anyone else, just in case it doesn't work. Also, waiting until it attacks. Just in case this already pushes it over the threshold, so I can throw it a potion. In case it does. Let's see. Okay, it's still fine. So your potion for now. Waiting for bio here. Yeah, let's see. It doesn't deal any damage. Oh goodness. I think it still inflicts the HP leak status, so he might actually slip below the threshold. You're going to use the wind spear for now and jump onto him, I think. So I just need to time my attack so it is after he attacks eventually. That's around now, I guess. And then... oh, then we hope and pray. So I'm not sure what you can do, Lena. Really not sure. Dancing Dagger might be my best option. Oh, wait. Rain might work. Rain is susceptible to miss, and they have a really high level, so they likely will miss. Yeah. I think I'm using elixirs here. You attack. Elixir on you. I think you deal the most damage. Galof even blocked the attack. Nice. And he can jump over the next one. Maybe a better choice would have been to heal Butts first and then jump. Because he would have survived another attack here. No, he wouldn't, because it's single target. Whew, okay. We survived. Means we need to revive everybody. And the last one we can destroy with fire again. They are immune to ice and lightning. I knew that. I wasn't sure about earth, but apparently they are also immune to earth. So that's pretty unhealthy. For us anyways. Bring up the Phoenix down. Bagels? Bagels? So you still have the killer ball. I think you have hit him once already anyways. You know what? You start using animals, hoping for Nightingale rather than using potions. This is way more efficient. It actually worked. You need to actually use something that isn't the air lance or the other thing. You use the Dancing Dagger. I think this time we're going to be opening up with Dancing Dagger, so that's about 2000 damage so far. Actually, let's say 1500. That's about 2000. Probably actually it's more like 1000. So 2500. We stick with 2500 for now. So this is about 3500. If I attack here, I will want to check whether it actually is going to do a thing. So I want to have everybody ready, in case it does the thing already. Okay, it doesn't do the thing yet. Nightingale, very nice. Okay, we are full health. And I'm just going to wait until actually Galof gets a good attack in. That's kind of the important portion here. Galof is not guaranteed to be able to hit it. So here we go. Also the air crystal is the fastest one of the bunch. Ooh, we open up with a sword dance. This thing is pretty much dead. No, not animals. Oh, shoot. Okay, maybe it's not dead. Oh, it is! Well... that worked better than expected. Thanks to Gallo's sword dance, which by the way is a 1 in 8 chance per attack to happen. Because 50% chance to proc and then a 1 in 4 to choose the correct dance. So that was perfect. Part with Magor, shield and elf cape because not in the face. Worked pretty well. A Raboon jump? A Raboon jump? I don't know which shots you mean, so sorry. So yeah, I dare to say it's mainly thanks to us being this high level to survive one attack from the crystal, and then we can just burst it down with the remainder, even if we didn't manage to burst it down in one round. That's kind of convenient, honestly. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this is a battle Galuf literally cannot lose. And I'm just going to let him dance. Because this is basically a cutscene battle where Galuf, he's going to win this no matter what. And I'm going to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, and grab something to eat this time, for real. And just try to find something to hold down the A button. Would be nice if I had a clamp or so. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and enjoy the show for now. It would be nice if I had a controller with a turbo function, in fact. Oh, I do technically. But not right now, plugged in. Either way, we are back. Yes, but if you equip a bone mail and use a phoenix down on yourself, you can end up just killing yourself in this battle. That's the only way to kill yourself in this battle. But I didn't equip the bone mail because, well, this is not that much of a speedrun, honestly. So I'd rather be able to revive Galuf. Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back for now. You can also... Oh! I didn't even realize that. You're right, Kishore. That's true. And good morning. I hope you had a pleasant rest. I'm going to mute the microphone while eating. Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back here. And yes, I do agree. Honestly, I've said it before, but in this scene, you might think that it's a bit on the nose when the text box just says straightforward, Galuf has died. But honestly, my first playthrough, I was still kind of in that mindset of, oh, the main protagonists or the main characters, they don't die, that's just silly. It doesn't happen in those kinds of games. I mean, what would happen with them anyway? So I was not really concerned about people at all. Until I realized, holy cow, it's actually dead. And I do agree, it's a very nice touch that they try to use actually in-game means of healing him, like Cure 3 life. Even though we are not Might Mage, but still, I get the Elixir, Phoenix Stone, nothing works. Yeah, I guess if you do have Bone Meal equipped on Galuf, which for anyone who does not know, you cannot revive a character in combat, and if you heal them, they take damage if they have a Bone Meal equipped. The body count is fairly high in this game. To an extent, yes, although a lot of them get returned after the void is completely gone. In the credits anyways. At least I think it is. Now you're making me question it. Let's see, Ferris is still looking for 140... That's German. 166 ability points. That's a lot if I want to go for that catch and release right now, which I don't feel like I need to. We can just go. Either way, my next move is going to be Ferris will equip the corner jar because we need to catch something else now. Also, I have no idea where I am. Really? That island is... Wait, that's a different island. I thought this was the same island as the Sage Guido died, but that's a completely different island. I'm pretty sure Tycoon and all the Dawn Warriors are dead. I mean, Lena survived, kinda. She was in Tycoon. Or will be, for that matter. Depends on how you look at it. But yeah. But either way, the Dawn Warriors are all dead. Dawn Warriors, by the way, are Galuf, the guy, the werewolf we found in Quelp, and some other people. I don't remember what's in this chest. One of them contains a crystal shield, which we still want the Aegis shield. The other one is the ether. And blind wolves. Diamond shield. Well, wall mages. Wall mages, if you have a thief, you can try to steal from them. The interesting thing is they always started with wall as their base status, so to speak. Alright, I need to actually turn Kara into a job. Sorry, I forgot about that. Right now she has nothing equipped. Kara essentially replaces Galuf. She has different stats than him, which is interesting. So, didn't I want to have a Dragoon with black magic? I think that makes more sense. She has pretty good magic stat, and we apparently have Fire 3 on this Dragoon. I didn't realize Galuf went all that far with black magic learning, so that's pretty awesome. Where's the Dragoon? There we go. Little Kara has Dragoon now. Do we immediately go for black magic, or do we go for control for now? Control is probably better for survivability. Keep the Aegis shield, please. It's way better. Yeah. Okay, one person with control is sufficient. That's, I think, only if you have 5th chop. Or do you not have to specify 5th chop when you start anymore? A lot of hyphens. Oh, you are just... I see, sorry. I understand now. Yeah, I actually don't like 5th chop. I like just working with the jobs we have, because if I just lose one of the jobs, it feels like a waste of time to invest any ability points into that jobs, if I will no longer be able to use it. Let's say if it's like you can keep all 5 jobs, then it would get a lot more interesting with 5th job. Although it would make it easier instead. Which probably is not the point. But it would make it more appealing to me personally. You're pretty sure you need to start a 5th job run? Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, there is a modifier to whatever job you or whatever you are playing as, and you can use 5th job in order for Kara, who is a completely different person in Galuf, to have her own job, basically. That's the idea. I think it removes the last job you have received. Probably. I don't actually know that. Or whether it removes one random job from you. If you could pick the job to drop. Actually, yes, that would be a nice compromise. I do agree. If you could just pick the job you drop, that would be a nice compromise. Because at least then I personally would feel like it's more appealing to do that. Let's go with ice. Also, hey X-Codes, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Alrighty, this is the thing. I don't know how much damage we deal. They are weak to air. I think only 1000 HP. Let's see. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Either way, I want to catch one of those guys. Magic Dragons, when you release them, they cast Blaze, which is 25% of the enemy teams, all enemies, HP in damage. So 25% to maximum HP in damage. And you can imagine how much damage that will be if there's an enemy that has like 40,000 health. He doesn't have quite that much, but it's the same concept. Falcon? Oh wow. Actually deals damage. I probably don't want to level up much more anymore, now that I think about it. So, get an Ice Shield. Ice Shield, same concept as Flame Shield, absorbs ice, so you get healed instead of taking damage from ice-based attacks. Can't wait to see XF destroyed by Blaze. Yeah, that's the plan. But if you're wondering, I'm walking through walls in various parts. If you have a thief, you can actually see where you can walk through walls. I don't have a thief right now, but I know where the walk-throughable walls is. Sure, good English. So I take advantage of that. Also, you take a lot of damage every time you step in this goo. Ouch, that's 100 damage, I think. Holy cow. Well, it's not quite 100, but it's a lot. And we can still get into encounters here. The reason why I do this is the Gale Bow. And oh boy, this thing is strong. It has not only just 20 attack more, which the Killer Bow did decent damage, but the Gale Bow, on top of that, has a chance of using... what is it called? Words. Also, by the way, oh, we don't have any anti-petrify mechanisms, do we? No, we do. You soft the golem, it dies. Basically, you remove petrification, stone to flesh, and stuff like that. And he dies straight up. Either way. The Hayari Bow. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. I hope for Nightingale. Stun is not too bad either, I guess. The Hayari Bow? No. The Gale Bow has X-Fight. X-Fight is actually a hunter-based ability. What it does is, it always hits. It attacks a total of 4 times for 50% of the damage, ignoring enemy defense. Also, if the targets are chosen randomly, it was coincidence that it hit that guy 4 times. Apparently he really did not like this guy anymore. Ooh. We don't have much HP left here. Reducing damage from them. Controlling this guy. Animals, hoping for Nightingale. And try to down that guy. Don't hit butts. No! Bolt does not even deal much damage. Oh, that's just mean. That is just mean. By the way, those Dark Wizards. Ooh. Break that guy. Wait, no, that's not good. No, that's not good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Break yourself instead. Because it reflects. Okay, good job, Kara. She just blocked it. Break yourself instead. Okay, we finally managed to run. So close to getting Requiem. Oh, nice. The Requiem is fantastic. So if you have a Geomancer, the floor actually does not hurt you when it's lava. Butts. Hey Hot Buns, welcome. How are you doing? Stepping on this goose sounds so weird. Well, it's better than the poison sound effect in Final Fantasy 1. Ooh. Tackle does 50% more damage than the regular attack. It's basically their strongest move. I think we get to have a tent here? No, not yet. The chest on the right has a samurai weapon, the chest on the left has a knight weapon. If I pick it up, it was just for selling, so I'm not going to bother. Plus, if I actually mess up and accidentally place the bridge... By the way, you place the bridge by pressing A. If I accidentally place a bridge over in one of the places where you cannot go across, you get an boss or an enemy that fights you. He's not even worth anything, but he can't escape. Hey Alucard, thank you for the good luck and welcome to you. How are you doing? Glad you finally found more stream. I see, well done. Welcome and I hope you enjoy your stay. Okay, so this could be interesting. Yellow dragons are really strong. Oh, nice. Managed to control him and then he aims. Right, that's awkward. Control. Nice, alright. We control him again. So usually when you control an enemy, they are not really dangerous anymore. But trying to deal with them can be a bit tricky. I don't know whether you can venom those guys. Can't do anything. It's probably deals damage. Pretty good damage on top of that. Can you Hurricane yourself? Does that actually work? Hurricane puts your character into... You can. Huh, how convenient. And you miss. Whoops. Hurricane puts your character into peril HP, meaning less than 10%. So